You can't do an LS swap without a harness. I've got mine sitting on the bench here, so I'm going to walk you through what I've done, and we got a few things we're going to do today. So this harness is a pretty standard standalone harness conversion, except for one major modification. Normally these harnesses come off of the intake right about here, and then your computer and fuse blocks sit on the wheel well right about here. I want to take and put my computer in the cab underneath the dash, so I have modified the whole harness to come off the back of the block here. To do that, I ordered some of the ECM pins and the special crimper for them so I could shorten up the wires that ran to our connectors here. So other than this modification, it's pretty much your standard conversion harness. We have our fuel pump wire, our power, our ground wire, and then our ignition enable wire. I use my own design for the fuse block. I like this 8 fuse. It separates the power a little bit better, helps keep everything from overdrawing. The 4 fuse works if you're doing just a motor, but with the transmission, I definitely like to have an extra row of fuses. If you're looking to do your own swap, or you just want these this fuse block diagram, you can find both of these in the link in the description. So other than moving the pigtail to come off the back of the intake, the rest of this harness is pretty much your standard swap. I am running O2s and the mass airflow sensor, and this is a stock 4L60 I'm going to be running in this swap, just to get this thing up and running. Later on down the road, we might do a 4L80 or a T56 swap, but this will work for now. We just have a few wires that need to get hooked up. So these are your neutral safety switch and your backup lights, so those will get hooked up when we get the motor in the truck. And then these here are for the dash. So I'm planning on trying to put a dash like this one. This is from 2003 to 2007, so this dash won't work. But I'm looking for one from a 99 to 02, and I'm going to try to put a fancy version of a dash like this to run all my gauges. In addition to that, I have to add the wires for the electric fans, and I have to move the temp sensor. So normally the temp sensor comes off the front of the normal pigtail, and it goes to your port that's right here. I'm going to swap the temp sensor on the opposite side because the heads are symmetrical, so my temp sensor will be in the back, and that'll just get rid of the wires that are going to be up in the front of the motor here. So we got to take this, and we got to move it back to this junction here. That'll give us another about foot of wire, so then that can run and plug into the back and be nice and clean. So let's get into doing that. Alright, to extend this wire, I'm going to need some gray 18 gauge. Good thing I'm a hoarder. Temp wire has been extended. Let's add the electric fans. So if it didn't come with electric fans, we need to add them. So blue 42 is an electric fan control, that's our low, and then red 33 is our high speed control. Again, if you want these pinout tables, you can find them in the link in the description. Alright, so we've got our temp sensor wire moved. So now this can easily plug into that side of the head. We've got our fan control wires both hooked up. We've still got to hook up the oil sensor and run that through the harness, but we're going to wait until we get a dash. So I'm still trying to source out a dash so that we can hook up all the stuff. And then I'm going to put some power to this thing and use HP tuners to test it and make sure all of our gauges are working. If you want me to go a little bit deeper into everything I did here, let me know down in the comments. I have a couple other harnesses lying around where we can make some kind of tutorial or walkthrough video or something. Let me know. Until next time, thanks for watching, and let's LS swap the world.